Hello, I'm Russell, this is the Trews. Let's watch some Fox News and see how Bill O'Reilly uses celebrity and his O'Reilly Factor mouthpiece to advance the agenda of Fox and Rupert Murdoch.
Fridays with O'Reilly segment tonight, actor Sean Penn, very left-wing guy, blaming the ISIS terrorist savages on Bush Cheney.
I mean, these are the guys, he and President Bush and some others, who invented Daesh or ISIS.
I just think that's profoundly dumb, what he just said.
I'm just hurt by that.
Bush Cheney had nothing to do with ISIS at all.
Let me say about Sean Penn. You know, he is an uber left-wing person. He is the very definition of the hard left progressive wing.
Oh, really? He's a Hollywood movie star. Here they are, the hard progressive left wing. What? That really rich actor? Yeah, I think there's some people that are a bit further to the left.
Remember that Sean Penn is an arrogant and self-involved person who believes that everything he does, you know, even his poop doesn't stink. He's that kind of person.
I checked it once. I stuck my thumb right in there, and then I put it into the old mustachio soup strainer, and it was delicious.
He is, in many ways, though, relying on a history that is very checkered when it comes to Bush Cheney. And you and I and the President of the United States, George W. Bush, and the Vice President, Dick Cheney, we all supported the invasion of Iraq in March 2003 that did lead to the destabilization of the entire region.
Geraldo, don't drift into agreeing with Penn. We just said he thinks his shit don't stink. He's an arrogant son of a bitch. He's the worst communist since Karl Marx. Don't drift into agreeing with him.
But wait,
I can give you one more sentence on.
No, I booked you on this show, Geraldo. We were friends. I was at your wedding, for God's sake.
But as Petraeus pointed out, after the surge and the victory, there was 3 years of stability with no Al-Qaeda, no ISIS.
Thousands and thousands of U.S. troops.
No intrusion from terrorism on Baghdad or Iraq, okay?
I don't think there was. I don't know. I was alive then, and I don't remember thinking, that Iraq war has really gone well.
It was only after the United States withdrew its forces from Baghdad and from Iraq.
It's almost like that occupying army were imposing some kind of order that the indigenous people didn't want.
That the ISIS thugs were able to infiltrate from Syria.
Never say ISIS without saying thugs, bastards, or motherfuckers.
What the U.S. did during our post-surge pre-pullout.
Do you want to make it sound any more like bumming?
We withdrew, they went after each other.
Right.
The Shiites prevailed, the Sunni extremists morphed into ISIS.
Okay.
Thereby, you can make a connection that did Bush Cheney lead to ISIS?
You can make a connection
we all led
obliquely to anything at any time.
You can make a connection to anything at any time. Wake me up at 3 a.m., Geraldo, and ask me to connect Mickey Mouse to Hitler, the Nazi Party, and Walt Disney was in the Nazi Party. There, I done it. Anything, anytime.
The truth is that Bush Cheney had nothing to do with ISIS. Now,
but the truth is that Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse were not connected, nor is ISIS and Dick Cheney. Look, stop making connections, Geraldo, and you, Sean.
Mr. Penn, all right, is in a new movie.
But I can't let you get away with that.
Bill, I love coming on Fox News and making people dumber and dumber and supporting the agenda of this fine organization. But when you lie right into my mustache, it hurts me.
Bush Cheney's administration led to the destabilization of Iraq.
It doesn't matter. It had nothing to do with ISIS, and the facts are the facts.
That doesn't matter. Destabilized countries needn't necessarily create an ISIS. I went to some destabilized places, Panama, for example. Well, I didn't really go, but I pretended. And it didn't do an ISIS.
Now, Penn is in a new movie about an assassin with a gun. He's shooting people.
Iraq is complicated and what did create ISIS. But Sean Penn, though, he's in a movie about an assassin with a gun. This seems more my speed.
He's shooting people all over the screen.
That's when I start to love Bill O'Reilly, when he goes like that. He's shooting people all over the screen. There was one person at the bottom of the screen. Sean Penn shot him with a gun. Someone up in the middle of the screen. Sean Penn shot him with a gun. Someone there, top right. You know what Sean Penn did? That's right, shot him with a gun. So basically the whole screen. Damn you, Penn.
But in real life, here's what he says. Go.
Go. He's like desperately trying to scrabble for some command.
Go.
I think guns are not something to be missed.
And I've noticed this is a common theme. Lots of actors do and say things when they're in that movie window, and then I see them in real life, and they're not saying that. I'm beginning to think the things they say in that movie screen window is made up.
All right, so Here's a question.
Is he a hypocrite?
You know, I think that's too strong a word.
Bill, you make your mind up what your fucking view is of Sean Penn.
He's just trying to make a living as an actor. This is a role was offered. He took it. Should he explain?
Should Penn explain the dichotomy between fictionalized, filmed dramas and things he believes in his own life? Should he explain that?
I think that when you invest in actors or plumbers,
What? Where's Geraldo going to end up with this?
that in some way they become our guides to these complex issues.
Never let a plumber guide me in a complex issue.
Sean Penn is an actor of varying quality
No, he's a
from
good
role
actor.
to role.
He's a good actor.
Don't start criticizing Penn's acting. He's a good actor. He's very good.
He's okay. He hasn't had a hit in a while. But are you so invested in what Sean Penn thinks
No.
that
You fucking clearly are overly invested in what Sean Penn thinks.
Do I want it?
you...
I don't care what he
used to be married
says.
to Madonna. Let him talk about Madonna.
It's really funny to see Fox News' ideology in action, because we know that typically Fox News would be pro-guns, but in this instance, being pro-guns isn't helpful to their argument. Can we abandon pro-guns just for a moment to win this argument with Sean Penn, who isn't here? Yeah, of course we can, because ultimately, all we're going to do is support the agenda of News International and Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch's agenda is really easy to understand. Over a 4-year period, Murdoch accumulated $7 billion in offshore profits, not subject to US taxes, while News Corp had 150 accounts in tax haven countries. That's a very selfish and greedy attitude to have when you've got a profitable media business. Murdoch has been able to expand his empire with rigged tax code written by lobbyists on the payroll of corporate tax dodgers News Corp. So the tax laws that they benefit from, it's not like they just take advantage of stuff that's there. They, in tandem with the government, design tax laws from which they then benefit. So when Bill here is sort of rambling through his views on American foreign policy, you think, well, how does this relate to what Rupert Murdoch wants? Why is this territory even being explored? Generally speaking, Rupert Murdoch's outlets support military intervention in the Middle East. Rupert Murdoch is a shareholder in Jimi Energy. Jimi Energy is exploring for oil on the Golan Heights, that's Israeli-occupied Syrian land. So whenever they're talking about the Middle East, unless they say on the programme, well, we need to invade because we got shares in Jimi Oil. Unless they explicitly say that, they're kind of concealing it. It's tacit support of military activity from which they financially benefit. The reason that Fox News are misleading is that when you watch something like this, it's really sort of funny and almost lovely, like a couple of adorable sherry-soused uncles on a couch just chewing the fat and bullshitting. The reality is they're either protecting the agenda or advancing the agenda of powerful corporations explicitly, like News International, or sometimes simply by association and tribal affiliation in that top band of society, transnational corporations that dominate everything.
Does Madonna have a gun? No.
A couple of them.
All right, so you're dodging that question.
Rupert Murdoch is one of the most powerful men on the planet. People always say to me, if you want to have an opinion on politics, you've either got to stand for Parliament or at least bloody vote. Well, Rupert Murdoch doesn't vote in the United States of America. Rupert Murdoch doesn't vote in the UK. But he is the most, and he certainly ain't standing for Parliament, and he's the most powerful and most influential figure in politics. Trying to get elected without the support of Rupert Murdoch is difficult. Trying to remain in office without the support of Rupert Murdoch is difficult. Trying to get your policies through without the support of Rupert Murdoch is near impossible. So he's one of the most powerful figures in contemporary politics without having any office. That's why I support the Occupy Rupert Murdoch Week. There's a big day of action on the 28th of March here in London, but there's protests all over the world. Get involved, because Rupert Murdoch is more important than any political figure. What you think about Ed Miliband, David Cameron, Hillary Clinton, Ted Cruz is irrelevant. They come, they go, and ultimately they work for Rupert Murdoch. Make sure you don't too. That's some true news. Subscribe here.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.